Hi, this is Jacob Klinger, your Steelers beat reporter, back for the review of the first week of the Steelers offseason. Started off, as you all well know, by the Steelers losing to the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game. A lot of the defensive errors that had sort of dragged down the Steelers in the first part of the season came back. They appeared to have been fixed as far as playing most other teams was concerned, but the New England Patriots were the most balanced and maybe the best offense overall in the NFL and got the better of the Steelers, setting up what I think is one of the more interesting Super Bowl matchups in recent history, just in that Patriots-Falcons won't come with a lot of the older retread narratives about, going for dynasties, though the Patriots will always be doing so until Brady retires, or, this quarterback is next. This is just, the Falcons are kind of a weird team. Not a lot of people saw it coming, at least not initially. I think they had 100-1 odds before the season. So this Super Bowl, while it may not be the one exactly that the networks wanted, I think will be interesting and will at least get a little more attention from me. The Steelers themselves, for the most part, only a couple of them are playing football this week. Ryan Shazier got called in as a backup for the Pro Bowl. He's there in Orlando. He's joining David DeCastro. Ben Roethlisberger, Marquise Pouncey, Antonio Brown did not show up for understandable reasons in terms of preserving their health. This is David DeCastro's second straight Pro Bowl appearance, though. He made his first last year. Now, since the season's ended, the Steelers have made a number of moves. They have re-signed fullback Roosevelt Nix. They re-signed Kobe Hamilton. They re-signed Jordan Dangerfield, and they also picked up Farrington Hunguinin, an outside linebacker whose last name I'm fairly certain I'm butchering, former defensive end of the Miami Dolphins. Just depth in a position where they can, use some. I don't expect he'll be contributing a lot in terms of minutes, but he is at least a nice body to have for camp or as they go into the spring sessions. Now, lastly, the Steelers do have more of these sort of tidying up free agent type moves to make. I've been talking to a number of people this week, frankly, and what you're going to see first is they're going to pick up a lot of their exclusive rights free agents, which are the guys that can't actually play for anyone else as long as the Steelers make them an offer. A lot of those guys will sign on minimum deals, 1 year, $500,000 to $600,000. It depends on how long the guys played in the league. But for most of them, it would be cheap things, guys to fill out the roster, contribute on special teams, be backups in key positions. Think Jordan Dangerfield, think Kobe Hamilton, guys who are at least going to be in camp and then try and make the roster and get the snaps where they can. So they've made those four. They did some future signings with the practice squad guys, and what I'll be looking to is how some of these other guys, the ones who are either exclusive rights and have a little more significance to the team or aren't, those will show us more about how the Steelers offseason develops as a whole, particularly when you get to unrestricted free agency, which opens up on March 9th. Now, there's two or three that I'm really interested in looking at in terms of how they affect the rest of the Steelers offseason. Two are restricted free agents, and one is an exclusive rights. Alejandro Villanueva has been the team's starting left tackle and has improved vastly, not even just from last year, the previous one, to this season, but even within the context of this season. They could re-sign him on a minimum contract, 1 year, give or take $600,000, and lock him in for the following season. The problem with that is he's pretty good, and he would be hitting the open market in a year. They would lose really any leverage. He'd be anybody's, to the highest bidder conceivably. But what the Steelers do have going for them is they have Gerald Hawkins, the 4th-round pick out of LSU, waiting in the wings. He's on IR, or he was on IR this past season. They have him for the next 3 years, and he looked really good in training camp. So they could just re-sign Villanueva on a 1-year minimum and take their chances a year from now, but he's a solid part of a very good offensive line that's kept Ben Roethlisberger off his back. Beyond that, I want to see what they do with Ross Cockrell. He's a restricted free agent, which means that any team can bid on him come March 9th, but the Steelers will have a week to match whatever offer sheet that team puts forth. So they should be able to lock him down if they want. If they don't, they're looking at Senquez Golson, William Gay, Justin Gilbert, or anyone they could get in the draft, helping out alongside Artie Burns. Beyond that, the last slightly less telling piece of the Steelers' like marginal free agent picture before we get to the big guys later down the road is Chris Hubbard. He can play 4 different positions for the team, anything across the line and tight end, though really he's playing as an extra tackle, but he does have routes. He does have a route tree, though we didn't get to see it this year. He is, like Ross Cockrell, a restricted free agent, so any team could make him an offer. The Steelers, however, will get a chance to match it. But the team has some depth, again, behind him. B.J. Finney can play center and guard. Gerald Hawkins can play tackle. They don't want to get too thin. Brian Mihalik is a exclusive rights free agent this year as well, and he can play tackle. But Hubbard is useful. Teammates of his have told me that he could start for other teams. It's just a matter of the Steelers want to see if that's true. I don't think they do, but I mean, it's, as Mike Tomlin said, these things don't happen in a vacuum. Any team could drive up the price, and that would be the end of it. So that's all from me for this week's Steelers weekend review. I'll be doing this semi-regularly through the offseason, catching up on some sleep, but seeing plenty of you guys as well. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Feel free to share this. We're at PennLive.com/Steelers. You can follow me at Jacob_Klinger_ on Twitter, and we'll be tracking down more of these off-season transactions. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.